This time you got to start at the end, which was the holding call.
All right, so it's 35-35. We all saw it. We'd have to do less describing. But 35-35, it's third down. The Eagles have no timeouts left, so they pretty much have to make this stop. If they make the Chiefs are in field goal range. If the Chiefs, it was like 3rd and 7, right? In the red zone. If they just converted a first down, the game was over.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't 3rd and goal. They had a first down that they could get. 3rd and 7, Mahomes drops back. He's feeling a little bit of pressure. He throws it up. And then you get the holding call.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? James Bradbury gets called for holding against Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah. Now, first point that needs to be made is James Bradbury came out in the locker room after the game and said it was holding. He tugged his jersey. He was kind of hoping he would get away with it, and he didn't. I agree with him. He did grab the jersey. You can see on the replays. It's not egregious, but he grabs the jersey, and there's like extension there, and anytime an official sees jersey being pulled, it's an automatic flag. It's like soccer is the same thing. The second you see the jersey get pulled, the guy's going to give a free kick. It's the way it works. Now, could he have let it slide? Yes. Would it have been better had he let it slide? Probably. That's the problem. But it's pretty hard to complain about that call. Like he gave the official the excuse to throw the flag, and the guy threw the flag.
The TV copy did not have a good view of it, right? So there was not the replays that everybody was seeing. It didn't look. It was because it was on the first break by Juju. There were some people asking, is it legal? I've seen a lot of questions. Like a lot of people talk about, is it legal? Was it within 5 yards and this and that? Should it have been pass interference? None of that matters, right? So you can never hold as a defensive player. So a holding can occur anywhere. Doesn't matter if it's 5 yards. Doesn't matter if it's behind the line of scrimmage. Doesn't matter if the pass is catchable. That's why you hear the ref say before the pass was thrown,
right?
Or it doesn't really matter. It's just a holding. Has nothing to do with pass interference. I think the problem that's been raised, my friend back in New England, Michael Hurley, who covers the NFL back there for NBC Sports Boston, brings up the point that last year's game where Logan Wilson had the defensive hold, it was the first defensive hold in that game back against Rams-Bengals. This was the first defensive hold in this game. They both occurred just under 2 minutes. They both basically handed a first down to a team and essentially ended the game, right? This one did pretty much end the game. So that's where I think people are upset. It's the fact that they had not seen penalties the entire game. The Chiefs got away with, or the Eagles got away with one early. Was it one of the Chiefs' first drives, where there was probably a pass interference over the middle that James Bradbury got away with early in the game. So it's you've said this before, right? It's like, oh, it's going to be one of those games. It's going to be one of those games. We're going to play it like that. We're going to play it like a playoff game. Be a little bit more aggressive. Because James Bradbury said, yeah, I grabbed him. But the follow-up question would be like, did you do that at other times during the game? Did you get away with like 6 of them? We won't know until we really see the film and everything. But it was the timing of the call, I think, that really has people like, man, that hurts. And then Jalen Hurts also loses the opportunity to drive back. We've got this epic back-and-forth game. The Eagles just had an incredible drive to tie the game down 8. The Chiefs, of course, come back because they've been unstoppable in the second half, and they deserve credit for that. Mm-hmm. And then we lose the drama of Jalen Hurts with like a minute 20, whatever would have been left, no timeouts to get into field goal range, which was doable, and that could have set up overtime or it could have whatever. We lost some drama there.
Oh, absolutely. It's unfortunate. Like the problem is because it's the kind of jersey pull type of holding. The second the jersey gets pulled, you give the guy the excuse to throw the flag, and he ends up throwing the flag. So it's very hard to complain about it. The complaint is, did you really need to throw that flag in that moment, which does effectively determine the game? You hear all the time about how officials don't want to be the story. They don't want to be the reason a game is decided. Well, that was one that absolutely did that. Like, when the jersey comes out, you kind of throw the flag automatically. But if you're looking at that and going, that's a pretty marginal call, we can probably keep the flag in our pocket here, that's the issue. But I think when you reach a game like this, it's 35-35 with a couple of minutes left. All of a sudden the clock, this is the problem with high-scoring games. The games that everybody loves, this high-scoring, back and forth, punch for punch, blow for blow. Eventually the clock becomes a problem and the game winds up becoming simply who has the ball at the end. Like, that's the issue. And the Chiefs had the ball at the end. and they ended up being able to control the clock, wind it all the way down, and essentially give the Eagles no chance to answer. That's the only downside to this world that the NFL is pursuing, which is everybody scores 40 points, and it's a constant battle. It's points, it's yards, it's offense left and right. But eventually the clock becomes an issue, and it simply becomes who has the ball last.